Ladies, let's talk. Did you know that the highest rate of depression for any age group or gender is women between the ages of 40 and 59? That's a statistic by the Center of Disease Control. And it is definitely a tough time of life for women to be in midlife transition. And I know it's like a dirty word that we don't want to talk about, but this is a time when women are struggling. Your bodies are changing, hormones are changing, kids are moving out of the house, partners are MIA, jobs are scarce, and you may have not even worked a job outside of the home in some time if you have been rearing kids. Hi, I'm Dr. Natalie Marr. I'm a clinical psychologist and a life transition expert, and I want to help women in midlife. This is a difficult time, especially coming out of COVID, and most of us are feeling like we're on an island, alone, trying to take on the world all by ourselves. Sure, we have some people that we've stayed connected with throughout COVID, but most of our resource has usually been in community, and those connections were deteriorated over the last year. What I'd like to do is give you a little tip today about how to manage overwhelm with connection. First of all, we are horrible at asking for help. And my biggest tip to you today is when you feel like you need it, reach out and ask for help. And certainly build a community around you of other like-minded women. We're here because we're the ones that are going to understand the most. And if you don't have that anywhere else, please join me on Learn to Love Your Story. I'm doing workshops all through the summer that are free to you every other Tuesday at 7 p.m. And the next one coming up is going to be on perfectionism. Overwhelm, though, what we're talking about today, is really a math game. We have all of these layers of things that are stressors, that are static in our life. Kids, work, home life, personal life. It's all there, adding, and gives us very little room at the top, that wiggle room of emotional bandwidth to take on what we need to take on in addition to all of those stressors. So it's very rarely the straw that breaks the camel's back here. It is that last thing that makes you feel like you've completely lost everything. But really it's the layers of things that are creating less tolerance or less emotional bandwidth for you. So my tip is try and find some ways to start to bring those layers down. Community and connection is one of the best ways to do that. It's like linking yourself up to other people's resources. You come to the end of what you have internally, and all of a sudden you can grasp at what other people have. One of the biggest barriers to that I find when I'm working with women is this idealistic goal that we're going to be able to pull this all together on our own. And not just an idealistic goal, but we have been fed a bad bill of goods. We've been told that we actually should be able to take all of that on our own. And this is a setup, girls. I'm telling you, this is meant to keep us in that oppressed position. We are human doers, giving of ourselves here and there, and not replenishing what we need here. And so those layers keep adding, and we're not taking layers off. So, tip for today, connect with others. And if anything, connect with Learn to Love Your Story. Head over to learntoloveyourstory.com right now, and you can sign up to get all of the information on upcoming free summer workshops.